Now, have you ever wondered what happens to people that win a shed load of money on the National Lottery? Well, what they spend the money on and how they get along the line, and, you know, what our National Lottery advisor, Andy Carter, well, he's revealed the worst mistakes that some lottery winners have made. So, are there sensible people who win, or do most people simply blow the lot of it? Well, joining me now is the comedian Cressida Wetton. Welcome to the show. Always an absolute pleasure.
Hello.
When I saw this earlier on, I absolutely loved it, because one of my favourite stories here, he's guided 2,000 people in total. He's handed out over 2 billion quid. And the funniest one to me, one fella, he didn't even tell his missus. He'd been married to her for 30 years.
Isn't that amazing? I think everybody, if you're out there watching GB News, you know, every Keith and Linda, you should look at your spouse tonight and you should think, is it you? Are we secretly sitting on a massive load of cash? I can't believe that. Overall, apparently, we're quite conservative. It's only 2% of people that go mad, but somebody somewhere hasn't told their wife.
Yeah, what's interesting about this is that apparently, I'm surprised about this, women are more sensible when they win. They don't go on a big, massive spending splurge. They're a bit more conservative than men. It's men who go and blow it, usually on fast cars.
How dare you, Martin? Well, apparently, the best thing to do is to talk about it, and women like to talk, don't we? So I think we have lots of discussions before we do anything crazy.
And also, I was surprised to learn that young people, I mean, I don't know what's going on with young people. They don't drink anymore. They don't seem to do anything interesting anymore. And apparently, they're very careful with their finances and plan ahead. What's going on with them?
It's so sad, isn't it? I mean, that's just awful. So apparently the vast majority of people are really sensible. I want to hear about the few people that weren't. I want to hear about the crazy people that did go for the Aston Martin, that they can't fit the pram in at the weekend. I want to hear about the crazy ones.
Well, we, of course, remember that gentleman who splurged it all on quad bikes and drugs and prostitutes in Norfolk. Looks like he was Andy Carroll. Looks like he was an isolated incident.
Well, I don't know him personally, Martin. I don't know if he's a friend of yours. He sounds like a good time girl. Probably somebody to be friends with in the short term, maybe not in the long term, I don't know.
What does this tell us about does money make us happier? If we're hiding it from the missus, if we're not even spending it because we're scared of going to the wire, do people actually want to win it? I mean, I'd give me left leg to win the lottery. These people, they sound like all they do is take care of stuff and not tell the wife.
Well, I've got no idea what it's like to be rich, Martin, but the guy, he says it makes people happier in the long term, so not initially. I mean, how sad is that? So in the beginning, it's just a headache, and then they sit down with all these helpful people that guide them, and apparently slowly but surely, if you're brave, you can get used to being mega rich.
Well, I've got to say, I don't know about you, I do very much enjoy the misery of lottery winners when their lives fall apart. Just makes me feel slightly better that I didn't win it myself.
Wow, Sheldon Freuder? I can't pronounce it. That's so sad, Martin. No, I think good luck to them. Obviously, if it were me, you know, I'd open an enormous donkey sanctuary. That's what I'd do. The right thing. Yeah, well,
you're all heart. Thanks for joining us on the show, comedian Cressida Wetton. Always an absolute pleasure to see you on the show. Now then, it is a very special news day at GB News because Nigel Farage is today celebrating his 60th birthday. Now, if you want to raise a glass to Nigel, you can do now. I'll be raising a glass with him in person. I'm about to go to his party and tuck a few away. You know, I promise not to get too out of shape. But, of course, I'll be here with you tomorrow, 3 till 6. Got a quick email here. Lee Anderson, of course, was in the show earlier. Graham says this: how can anyone fail to be impressed with what Lee Anderson had to say? I can't imagine Reform UK. They will definitely have my vote. Martin said this: not me. Lee Anderson could well have the new Nigel Farage effect. I always like what he had to say, and his common sense, no nonsense approach goes down well with me. He did the right thing, switching over to Reform. Well, that's it from me. I'm off to have a couple of bevies with Nigel Farage. Jubes & Co. is up next, with Bev Turner standing in, of course, for Michelle Juby. That's 6 till 7 p.m. And don't forget to join us from 6 a.m. tomorrow. It's Breakfast with Stephen and Ellie, followed, of course, by British